reside, cracking codes to flip the tides. Zeros and ones on battle cry. System fall, we watch them die. Hack-Attack, no turning back. Red meets blue in the cyber attack. Firewall burns, the signals cracked. Hack-Attack, yeah.
Welcome back to Hak-Attack, the show where your fridge is plotting, your lamp has eyes, and your door lock demands monthly tribute. Here's the hot take for today, and no, it's not wrapped in tinfoil. The smart home is basically a DIY spy kit you proudly install, secure to your walls, and flaunt online, right before some company pulls the plug on your access and leaves you with nothing but expensive paperweights. Let's lay down the ground rules right away. This isn't a guide to cracking your neighbor's nest. It's more like a thrill ride through the world of defensive threat modeling. If you're looking for how to pick a lock with a bubblegum wrapper, you've wandered into the wrong carnival. I patch the leaks. I don't drill the holes. Imagine your house, not as a fortress with a drawbridge and moat, but as a Wi-Fi-enabled hamster wheel with a mortgage. You've got cameras stuck to the walls like digital barnacles, chatty speakers in the kitchen gossiping about your grocery list, TVs spilling your secrets, locks tattling to the cloud, blinds that track your REM sleep better than your fitness app, and lights that dim themselves when they know you're out for the count. And for the pièce de résistance, a security system that uploads your panic to the cloud faster than it sends you help. It's charming until you realize every gadget is an informant, every informant has a boss, and spoiler alert, you're definitely not the boss. What's driving this $300 billion smart home bonanza by 2025? The usual suspects: convenience, energy savings, and the sheer joy of automation. Who wouldn't want to boss Alexa around to dim the lights or get Google to crank up the heat? Bills shrink, routines flow like butter, and suddenly your house feels like Hogwarts. But wait. Plot twist. Privacy fears are the ultimate buzzkill. A whopping 65% of folks are saying hard pass on full-blown smart homes, and it's definitely not because they're allergic to voice commands. I get it. The gadgets are irresistible. The hype is louder than a marching band. But here we are, spending our hard-earned cash to construct tiny surveillance hubs right in our living rooms. Let's take a closer look at who's actually cashing in, because the so-called home of the future starts to resemble House of Constant Snooping when you peel back the shiny ads. Time for a house tour, breach style. You've heard about those Ring camera horror stories, right? A kid in a room and suddenly some creep pretending to be Santa starts talking through the camera while the parents spiral into full panic mode. Ring chalked it up to credential stuffing. Passwords were used. Not a direct hack. But honestly, does it even matter? Either way, that tiny $30 fisheye cube just turned into a live two-way radio for unsolicited weirdness. Consider the Badbox 2.0 debacle, an Android TV botnet that's cheerfully wreaked havoc on over 10 million devices. This isn't some niche boutique cyber threat. This is primetime global chaos. Why? Because your beloved TV is running ancient firmware that hasn't seen a patch since dinosaurs roamed the earth. And let's not forget the Calais IoT flaw, where researchers casually strolled into live camera feeds and flipped devices off like they were light switches. And these are just the flashy headlines. Imagine the horrors lurking in the shadows that don't even make it past a Reddit thread. What's crazy is how always listening isn't some tinfoil hat conspiracy. It's right there in the terms and conditions. Alexa went from "we only listen when you say the wake word" to a complete 180 where random snippets are reviewed to enhance service. And Google Assistant? It got taken over by a calendar invite, and no one even caught on until the boiler started roaring like it was auditioning for a haunted house. But here's the real plot twist. Those routines you set, the light that flicks on at 6:12 a.m., the AC humming to life at 3 p.m., and the pizza recommendation popping up on your smart TV, they're like a buffet for data brokers. No joke, one time my TV suggested a pizza place. Right after I used a completely different app to order food. I wasn't even mad. I was equal parts amazed and unnerved. It was like my gadgets were having a secret meeting behind my back, plotting my next meal. So, corporations feast on it like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, data brokers drool over the juicy patterns, and opportunists cross their fingers hoping your firmware decides to take a permanent nap. Meanwhile, the real drama might be happening right under your nose. A shared account that's now as communal as a public park. Or a privacy setting that's as stubborn as a toddler at bedtime. Suddenly, convenience transforms into a leash with a bow on it. And voila, you're the unwitting pet in this tech circus. Alright, time to bust some myths. But I have nothing to hide. Fantastic, automation thrives on the mundane. Here's the scoop. Your boring daily habits are a goldmine. You're not the product, buddy. You're the guinea pig for every pattern detection algorithm from here to Timbuktu. Why do these devices come as wide open as a buffet on cheat day? Because proper security costs money and scares off users. Plain and simple. Default passwords like admin, sure, because who bothers to change those? Open UPnP for a seamless setup? Absolutely, because who needs barriers when inviting trouble? Outdated firmware that never gets patched, perfect for turning gadgets into zombified relics. And let's not forget the cherry on top, cloud dependency. If their server goes down or decides to pivot, congratulations, you've just acquired a very fancy, very useless paperweight. The punchline? You think you own your gadgets, but nope, you're just renting them. According to the FTC, a whopping 88.5% of products conveniently forget to mention software support timelines. Poof, they vanish with a press release. One day you're enjoying your advanced presence detection, and the next it's pay $6.99 a month or prepare to revert to the Stone Age. Most people don't bother keeping tabs on firmware updates or scrutinizing account access logs. They'll always choose cheap and fast over secure and durable, right up until the moment they're standing outside, locked out, staring at an app that smugly declares partial degradation. Honestly, just hearing that phrase makes me question the meaning of existence. Time to fix the mess. You're not helpless. Think like the sysadmin of your own existence. Step 0. Divide and conquer. If your home network is a grand mansion, your IoT gadgets are the rowdy tenants in the guest house. VLAN, guest SSID, magical runes, whatever works. The IoT only chats with the internet and the hub, never your laptop, never your sacred backup drives. Next up, create unique passwords for every single device and account. Either embrace the joy of a password manager or prepare for a lifetime of misery, because reused passwords are like putting out a welcome mat for hackers. Turn on 2FA wherever you can. Yes, even if it's the dreaded email-only option. Groan, grumble, but turn it on anyway. Set a monthly patch reminder because firmware isn't set and forget. It's more like set, check, swear, patch. If a device refuses to be patched or updated, it's not just stubborn, it's a ticking time bomb. Either replace it or quarantine it like it's carrying the digital plague. For hardware, cameras go outside if possible, inside only if you have a kill switch or can physically block the lens, cover up after use. Never reuse the camera's password, ever. Locks. Keep a physical key handy. If you need the app to open your door, you're trusting a CDN more than your locksmith. Set guest codes, expire them, and clean up access regularly. No indefinite master accounts. Mics and TVs. Snip those mics like you're cutting a ribbon at a grand opening. Silence the features you don't use. Voice purchases, ad IDs, interest-based nonsense. Security system. Make sure it's got a local siren that'll scream even if the cloud's throwing a tantrum. Panic buttons should work offline, no excuses. Test it all like you're training for the Olympics of smoke detector checks. The ultimate defensive tactic: conduct a quarterly network audit, hunt down rogue MAC addresses, evict phantom lurkers from the Wi-Fi, and trim those overgrown permission hedges. Any device that refuses to play dumb when commanded, yeah, that one's shady. So, who do you trust? If privacy is your sacred quest, Apple HomeKit offers local control and anonymized data. Great, as long as you're cool living in Apple's perfectly pruned walled garden. Home Assistant, a darling of the privacy over ease crowd, but only if you're ready to roll up your sleeves and get technical. Alexa and Nest, oh, they're slick, fast, and incredibly convenient. Just be prepared to swap your data and a bit of control for all that cozy voice-activated ease. That horizon is looking crowded. AI, deepfake, voice scams, sneaky data ninjas collecting your info, edge computing taking the scenic route to dominance, and a swarm of new laws buzzing in. Remember, technology should be your helper, not your overlord. If your security system can't function without a CDN, then congratulations, you've just rented your peace of mind. The cleverest smart home is the one that knows how to play dumb. Lights you can flick on with a switch, doors that obey a humble key, and cameras that hit the snooze button when you tell them to. Yeah, paranoia, you say? Absolutely not. This is just top-tier risk management with a hacker twist. Who says a smart home has to come at the cost of your independence? Unplug the right cords, lay down your own rules, and reclaim your domain from the clutches of endless notifications and the dreaded cloud-required trap. Signing off for now, Zealot45 here. Remember, your house isn't cursed, it's just overly connected. Catch you on the next Hak-Attack.
The whispers, a data stream, codes the canvas, paint the scheme. We're the ghosts inside the machine. Nothing's safe, not even your dream.